Well, you know what, folks? Let's jump right into Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Obviously, that is the official name. I personally, I like the Gulf War tagline better than just a six thrown in there, but it's fine. Uh, like Fuzzy just mentioned moments ago, the marketing has been on another level. It's Call of Duty, folks. I have a strong suspicion. I've talked about this during the week that it is going to be next gen only. In that conversation, I had proudly mentioned that it is coming into Game Pass. That is something as a consumer that I'm very excited for. I'm not, again, I don't get a dime from Microsoft, but I do reap the rewards of Game Pass. And this game going to Game Pass is going to be a big deal. But on the back end business conversation, Fuzzy Belvedere, we have a couple of quotes here from people attached to the project. Nico from Treyarch. Now, who is Nico from Treyarch? Well, apparently, Nico is a game designer on Treyarch Zombies. And according to Nico, well, they said this: I've been playtesting this one for 2 years, and y'all aren't ready. Hashtag Black Ops 6. Now, yeah, simplistic in its manner for sure, but I think it does carry a significant amount of weight because, well, the game, Nico has been playing it for 2 years. This is the longest developed Call of Duty ever. It is, I believe, to be next gen only. I think what that's going to do is move a lot of people over to new consoles. I think, honestly, when you look at the report from last week, where it was confirmed that more than 50% of current PlayStation users are on PS4s. Now, this is going to translate sales. Question is to what? Is it going to be PS5 at $500 and a 7643 game? Or is it potentially going to be a $200 Series S? And of course, 1 month of Game Pass, which gives you Call of Duty. Now, why this is important, Fuzzy, is simply because why did the PS4 win the generation out the gate? Price. It was $100. It wasn't peace. Don't get it twisted. 980p or 1080p makes you a better gamer. Yeah, they did some marketing that really ramped it up. This is how you share games. Again, Sony's just they're the masters of marketing. You cannot argue how good they are when it comes to marketing their stuff. But price was at the core of why people switched from Xbox 360 to the PS4 and skipped the Xbox One. And that $100 difference made people say, I'm going to go with PS4. And they went and they stayed and they've been there ever since. More than 50% of PlayStation players are still there. Now you talk about 2024. The market as a whole is just awful. Everything is expensive. And we're coming into a holiday season that might actually see less spending because no one wants to admit that we are in a recession. So if you are one of these casual gamers, Fuzzy, and you see that Call of Duty is going into Xbox Game Pass, and again, this is a hypothetical, Microsoft drops the price of the Series S for $200, includes a 30-day Game Pass, which is going to give you Call of Duty out of the gate, like a pack-in for $200. And they look over at Sony. Even if Sony drops the digital version to $399, that's still a $200 plus Call of Duty investment that casual gamer A, B, and C are probably not going to be cool with because they're casual gamers. And it's the holidays, and money is a lot tighter than it used to be. Let's talk about both scenarios. One, what Nico had to say about we're not ready for it, your anticipation on how good this game is going to look, and the potential of moving people over to Xbox.
Well, as far as what Nico said, I know a lot of people may crap on like Modern Warfare 3 and to some extent maybe parts of Modern Warfare 2, but Modern Warfare 2 had a longer development cycle as well. 3 was a lot shorter, but for the fact that it was shorter and it was as polished, although be it that the campaign was a good bit shorter, um, that goes to show that those teams are ramping things up to for the most part. And if this has been kind of in the tuck and been worked on and iterated and reiterated on again, then that's given them plenty of time to polish. That's given them plenty of time to get feedback from the community as far as for like some of the mechanics and things along those lines. So I think they've had ample time to kind of make this Call of Duty I wouldn't say necessarily a special one, but one that is going to resonate with the fans overall, whether it be the campaign itself or the multiplayer. They're definitely going to make sure that this one lands like it should. And the Modern Warfare 3 was, I think, originally supposed to be like a DLC that they kind of expanded on, and that helped end that contract or the obligations to PlayStation's marketing contract and stuff like that. So they with marketing ramping up the way it is, I think they're excited for what they have in hand. And if he's already been playing and play testing it and things like that, I think they're probably happy where it's at this point, and just a matter of getting the T's crossed and I's dotted as far as all the polishing on the back end of things to make sure that this thing doesn't have to have a massive day one patch or that it's going to have any issues across like the servers and things like that. And that's going to be probably the biggest thing on launch day. But as far as like the fan base, that with half the PlayStation player base still being on PS4s, and I would say to some extent probably a decent chunk of Xbox players still being on the Xbox One, because the cloud stuff kind of helps them not necessarily need to upgrade. I think this puts a bit of a crossroad for a lot of the PS4 players, because they don't have that cloud option per se, unless they join Game Pass and do it via like a mobile browser or like through their phone or on a PC or something to that effect. But considering that there's probably going to be bundles, considering that they will probably have special offers or pack-ins of this game, or deals on Game Pass towards the later part of this year like they usually do, I would say this will be, if any time, a great time for those that are still on previous gen to step up. So that way they don't have to necessarily fight with the inventory constraints that might pop up when GTA 6 comes about. Like if you're looking to upgrade to next gen and you're waiting for GTA 6, just be mindful there's a lot of people that are still doing that same thing. So the matter of the fact would be that the console of choice or any console at that matter might not be as readily available when GTA 6 launches. But considering if this is like a full-on next-gen title, this will give you that head start. And considering that there's plenty of stock of pretty much all the consoles, but you'll probably get a much better deal, especially with a Series S or even with the Series X at this point. I would say that's the best way to go. About the only other console, and I'm still thinking it might not land or might not get launched, although I know a lot of people say differently, would be the PS5 Pro, which would be that would be about the only other place that I could see some of the old PS4 players upgrading to. But at this point, you have a $600 option that may play it better, possibly, or you have like a $400 option with all the sales that we saw last year, probably even a $350 option with the Series X.
Yep.
And then with with the Series S, I think they went as low as like 159 or something like that, or maybe even lower than that in some cases. But I would say that, like you said earlier, the previous gen was won by pricing. The pricing on this holiday with that big, title coming out as far as Black Ops 6, it definitely will help, Xbox gain some momentum or gain traction in the console market space, or market share, I should say. And then considering how many people will probably sign up for Game Pass, considering that all the other Call of Duties, like if you're a Call of Duty stan, you're probably, even if you have your collection of Call of Duty on another platform, for the price of a monthly fee, you have access to all of that on that new platform that you're probably buying it for at cheaper and getting the newest game included with that purchase type of thing. So, yeah, I think they definitely will have a compelling argument for anybody that's kind of on the fence come this holiday. Considering the economy being what it is, if something like that is on their, Christmas wish list, what better way to, spend under $200, have a month of Game Pass, possibly have a pack in of Call of Duty, have your Series S, and possibly access to all the other Call of Duties that'll be in Game Pass as well. I think that would be like a no-brainer at that point.
It is going to be a conversation. Let's just say that. Korkenstein, I want to bring you into the conversation. Now, I have the Black Ops article from Insider Gaming. It was written by Grant Taylor Hill. I want to kind of just read the two for opening paragraphs because it does really put some context to what we're talking about. It says Activision has finally lifted the lid on Black Ops 6 earlier today, revealing key art and that the title for the game. It came following months of speculation about Call of Duty 2024, and while we don't know much about the game, a few details have been made clear since the teaser snippets started dropping online. Recently, an employee at Treyarch revealed on social media claiming that they've been playtesting Black Ops 6 for 2 years, stressing that we're not ready for this game. While we knew that Black Ops 6 has benefited from a lengthier development cycle than normal, knowing that it has been playable for some time or to some extent for 2+ years is really something. Now, obviously, having all of this extra development time, it's a big deal. If there is one thing I think anyone will admit is back in the days, Infinity Ward used to be the head dude in the room. That has shifted since Black Ops 1. I would dare say, and I'm not taking anything away from the folks, the fine folks at Infinity Ward, but I'm saying, at least for me as a gamer, Treyarch is my go-to developer. Given that they had extra time to really polish this game, and the fact that this game has been in playable format in one way or another for over 2 years, using the new console's power to its maximum potential, says that we are going to be in for something special. What are your thoughts on what the developer had to say? And do you think, to Fuzzy's point of view, seeing a splash screen with every Call of Duty from inception to current in Game Pass for $16.99, will it move people back to Xbox? Oh, yeah, you're on mute, brother.
Sorry. Yeah, to tackle the first part, I would say, yeah. I'm actually surprised they even posted something. Usually, right now he's setting a level of expectation now that marketing didn't set, So how much is, how much damage on the reverse side could that do? But I think, this is something probably that they're pushing their marketing kind of under the, on the DL kind of thing to get the hype out there. I think it's going to be pretty crazy on what we're going to see, because extra development time is crucial. Even 3 months can make a difference on a feature getting cut or or going through. When I was working on the Lord of the Rings RTS, we actually had like an ability of I can't believe I forgot his name. It's been so long. Where the elf he would be able to jump up onto, as one of the character heroes, would be able to jump up onto the elephant and slide down shooting arrows at it. That was an ability. But because of time constraints, we had to cut it. But things like that, where you can see these little minor things go in, extra development time is crucial. As far as going out, also to actually go on to that too, playtesting too, people might not know what that is. It sounds simple enough. Oh yeah, I'm playtesting, but it's not actually play testing in that sense. It's going to be a bunch of guys that are going to be pink textures because they either aren't associated with it, or don't have the art asset on the actual character. It's going to be a bunch of guys, going around in T poses, everywhere, things. So yeah, they've been play testing it, but it's not in the mindset or the thought that most people will think it is, that it's been fully playable and everything's accessible and it's in the best condition ever. It doesn't mean that. So kind of bring expectations a little bit down on that part. But yeah, that's what he means by playtesting. And then I think definitely it's going to move consoles like crazy, especially for Xbox. You got to look at it like this. And Fuzzy definitely nailed it, where price is going to make a big difference here.
Yeah.
You got to look at it. So let's see. You want to play Call of Duty on PlayStation now. PlayStation 5 is what is it? Like 500 bucks.
Yeah.
550, I think.
I can get. I'll look. You know what? Let me get the exact pricing.
Yeah. With let's say it's $500 with tax. Now you're looking at about 560, 570. Now you have to pay for an essential plus. Essential PlayStation Plus. That's another 70. So now you're at 640. Now you have to buy the game. That's going to be an additional $70.
So here, now, let me add some context to it. All right.
Okay.
If you want the PlayStation 5 Slim currently, right now, $499, $500.
There we go.
If you go to find where you can find, like Walmart has the PS5 disc version with Spider-Man 2 for $450.
Okay.
That is the cheapest that you have that I have found. It is $450. I'm looking at sites at GameStop, Walmart, Dell, PC Richard, Best Buy, Walmart, all of the big box stores. The cheapest is $450.
Yeah. So let's use that price then. Let's use $450. So they buy into the PlayStation ecosystem at $450. You have to buy the essential. The bare minimum of PS Plus is $70. So that ends up being $630. Or no, $620. Now you have to buy the game, which is $680. So there you go. Now you get to play Call of Duty on PlayStation. Let's go to Xbox now. Xbox Series S will probably be able to still play it at 4K, more than likely 60. I can't see them going below 60 on the S.
No, you can play Call of Duty right now. Any of the Call of Duties at 120 frames on the Series S. Yeah.
So bare minimum will have at least 60, maybe 120 for what, $200 on the S? Now,
$200, yeah.
Game Pass subscription, $17. So now you're at $217. Done. You get to play Call of Duty. So 640, 217. I'm not, I can't speak for everybody. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but I know if I was looking to invest in next gen, where I'm going to go. So I think price is going to be a big deal, especially with Xbox. They're going to bundle this like crazy. Xbox already knows their consoles sell at a loss. They have been for a while. That's not new. Most consoles do anyways for the lifetime. So they're going to be content with selling this at a loss to get people into the Xbox ecosystem, the Game Pass ecosystem, and to get Call of Duty on next-gen consoles on the Xbox system. That's going to be their goal. So I think that, people are like, oh, 5-1, 5-1. Might want to pull that back. That's a crispy bomb receipt, like we were talking about, where these people are saying 5-1, 5-1,
and smiling from ear to ear with that one. There you go.
And that ratio is going to change significantly as we move forward. So we'll see. But yeah, I think price is going to be a big factor coming up, especially if anyone can get people to buy into next gen. It's going to be Call of Duty.